what is the maximum or the minimum? Okay, so let me show you how to actually calculate the maximum or minimum. So this is the note that I want you to kind of put beside your math. So here's your note. To find max or min. Here's what you do. To find the maximum or minimum in an equation that looks like this, y is equal to x, let's go, ax squared plus bx plus c. The x value for the max is given by this. You got to do this first. 1. Find the x value for the max. Are you ready? You go x is equal to negative b divided by bracket 2a. That's it. And then 2, we sub this. Notice I'm putting this in black. Sub our x to find the y. So basically, when we're looking for the max, that's what we do. And guess what? Because this works for all, this solution will always be used to find either our maximum or our minimum for our parabola. And we remember that at the beginning of our problems, we decided that our parabola was a minimum, right? We said that our parabola was a minimum because of our x value being, our a value on our x term being greater than 1. Okay, now, so it's always you look on the x squared term and you see if there's a number in front of it and it's greater than 0, then you know it's opening up, so you have a minimum. So now let's go back down to our problem and we'll take a bit of a little breather and we'll go over this again. So in order to find the maximum or minimum, right? Here's what we do. We have to take a moment and we have to sub our x, we sub the x that we get from this calculation here. Okay, so let's go and do that right now. So let's say that I have the following. So we're going to go and find the max. So this is part C. We're finding the max, no, the minimum for y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 15. So here's what we do. Plug that in, get your answer. So let's go for it, shall we? So when you do that, you're ending up with y is equal to, oh, not y. The first thing that we said we had to do was find our x for the max or min. So let's go and actually write that out. The x for the min is going to equal this. So we start by writing our equation. X is equal to negative b divided by 2a. So in our original equation, there was a 1 in front of our x value because there's nothing there. So our a value is equal to 1, our b value is equal to 2, and our c value is equal to negative 15. So all we care about is plugging that into our equation. So we end up with x is equal to negative of, well, b is 2 divided by 2 times 1. Now, if you're doing this by hand, don't punch it in the calculator right away. Just put negative bracket 2, and we're going to simplify this part here. So 2 times 1 is 2, and then 2 in brackets is just 2, so we get negative 2 divided by 2. And then we simplify the top, so we get -2 divided by 2, which is -1. So the first thing is done. So the x value for our minimum is -1. So that's what we did for step 1. Step 2 is given by doing this. Not that, but doing this. What we're going to do is step 2. So now we're going to sub our x into the y, the basic equation. So let's start. We're going to go y is equal to bracket squared plus 2 bracket minus 15. Now that -1 needs to go here, and it also needs to go right here. So we end up with -1 squared minus 2 times -1. Punch -1 squared in your calculator to get 1. And then 2 times -1 gives us -2. And then minus 15. And you end up with y is equal to -16. So look at that. We didn't have to use Desmos or any graphing or anything like that. So you now can say the following. So the minimum is y is equal to -16. So instead of graphing, if you don't have the ability to graph, this is what you can do to find your max, your min,